What's up, guys? Connor here, and
Christopher
hey, Chris.
here.
So we're back with Credit Corner. Been a long time, long-awaited return. Um,
Yeah,
we love you all.
school stuff happened.
School stuff, a lot of school stuff, but we're done with that shit now. Um, so how we're gonna start off this time? Little life update. You can go first, Chris.
Uh, well, I honestly I haven't really been doing much lately. We graduated from high school, so I've been basically just hanging around. Um, I'm doing some design projects just in my own time. Like I'm making a logo right now. Is what I'm doing, and eventually I'm going to get a job. I'm still looking.
Making a logo for what?
For me,
For
that's
you?
it.
Like what? For you? What?
For me,
For like a
like my
brand?
own brand. Yeah,
Chris
yeah,
brand?
yes, sir.
Chris
I
brand?
mean, yeah, it's basically my brand. So yeah,
So what are you gonna? Are you gonna like sell stuff or
no, it's just my logo.
like
I
content
just wanted to
creation?
make a logo. Possibly, if I make a YouTube channel.
Bro just made a logo to make a logo, basically.
I, well, yeah, I wanted to do a design project. I wanted to do a design project that wasn't too big, and a logo was a pretty simple thing to do. It's coming off well. I did the thumbnails, so now all I have to do is a rough sketch, then put it into the computer, do the Adobe Illustrator work, and then I'd be done by it probably by the end. Hopefully by the end of this week.
Hopefully, I sure
Yeah.
hope it
Well,
does.
oh, you don't have Instagram, so you won't be able to see it.
No, I have it now. I got it back.
Oh,
But I
well, I'll
don't
go to post it on Instagram.
I don't use it that much, but I'll see it. Like I probably use it about as much as you do at this point. Like I just check it. I like check my DMs pretty much, and that's like about it. Because I got into the habit of like mindlessly scrolling, and that's why I had to stop. I think I probably told you about that though.
I check Northeastern's Instagram, class of 2027,
This
every
is
once in a while.
so you can find some future baddies.
So I can see who's coming to the school.
Um,
Yeah.
anything else? How do you feel about going to college? What's your thoughts?
I feel excited, but I'm also nervous about it. You know, just curious as to how it's gonna go, but I won't know until I get there. So
That's fair. I feel like for me, like I don't know, because I'm going somewhere local, so I've like been around there the whole time, like our whole life, So
yeah,
just kind of. Oh, and
I'm.
bro, I gotta tell you, I had my orientation the other day. That was whack, bro. It was good for some of it, but it was like, I think a lot of it was for the parents, and I was just, like sitting there most of the time, just like trying to like not fall asleep, because there was a whole like hour dedicated to like the financial aid stuff, and I was just like I already know all this, so I just gotta like sit here, or and then I just just sat
Oh
there.
yeah,
Oh, and there was
I
this.
had.
Good.
I had the Gates Scholarship online Zoom meetings that I had to go to, and they were long as hell. They went from I think they started. I had them for Saturday and Sunday, and they went from like 11 to like 8 o'clock.
11. Wait,
So
what?
8 o'clock at night because
What?
they're Pacific time.
What?
They're Pacific time.
It went from 11 a.m. to 8 at night,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Okay,
Because they're Pacific time, so it sort of fucks with how the time works.
the cost of a full
So
ride, Chris. At least you get a full ride. I do not
I
have a full
mean,
ride.
yeah, I just listened to it on the side, played some games and stuff like that. I just had to be there, basically.
Just had to be there for attendance. That's what I have to do for my job too. Sometimes, like
Yeah,
we have like quarterly meetings, and I have to be on the Zoom, but I just sit there with my camera off and my mic off, and I'm just like, if something is important, then I'll like listen to it, and then I'll just like zone out and do whatever just on my computer because I'll be on Zoom on my phone. So there's that. Oh yeah, there was this one girl at the orientation that was in one of my groups, right? Because we got split into three groups, and the
hmm
first one I was in, we got to, I think we went to the like rec center, or not the rec center, the student center, student athletic center, with like
uh,
the gym and all the stuff for the students, right? And then my second group, we got split into a different group. Went to the study abroad office, and the third one was for the honor students. And one of the girls that was in the honor students thing was literally just complaining the whole time about how annoying her mom was. And I was like, "Why are you talking to me about this right now? I don't care." Like
made you like
I want to sympathize, but she was just like complaining about how her mom is so annoying, and I'm like, okay, well, why are you talking about this right now? You don't
yeah,
have anything to
yeah.
contribute.
She was trying to vent,
Yes, but I'm saying
and
like
honestly,
she seems like
probably not the best.
that's what I'm saying. She seems like she had other places and people to vent. Like she seemed like she did it often, which is the thing, because like she,
Uh,
you know. So I was just like, why are we having this conversation right now? I'm trying to enjoy the
Okay.
freaking tour of the campus, and you're just like complaining right now. Like, let's just enjoy the moment, miss. Like, come on. So there was that. Oh yeah, we saw some cool stuff too. Like they have like a little like creation labs. They have like in there they have a whole like racing setup. It was cool. They have like a laser thing, and this dude was making a laser printed art piece, and it had like I think what's the dude who's the I keep forgetting. I think it's Kakashi, right? From Naruto. He's like the sensei.
Was he the one with the mask?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's Kakashi.
So
I was thinking.
so Kakashi was in there. The dude that was like he always looks tired, the dude from My Hero Academia, the dude with the long black hair. And uh,
Yeah, Eraserhead or
yeah,
some shit like
Eraserhead,
that.
and then Gojo was in the back, and the dude was just like printing that on like wood, and that was cool as hell to me.
Oh, so it was the anime senseis. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was cool. So it was like, yeah, and they had like some Minecraft swords up, and they had like a 3D printer, and they had some like woodworking stuff in there. It was cool, and we got to see like the esports room. It was pretty cool. Apparently, we're really good at Smite. I don't understand why that has any validity, but that's apparently something we're good at. So yeah, I feel like for college at this point, because I mean, I already told you this, but I got my classes. They seem like I'm gonna have a good amount of free time. So just what I do with that free time is what I'm gonna be trying to figure out. But hopefully
That's
I
what I'm
can.
excited for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully I can
The
play
amount
on
of free
the.
time.
Go ahead.
I was just saying the amount of free time that we could have compared to high school, because high school we didn't really get that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because we were just in class for like 8 hours a day, and then we'll only be in class for maybe a few hours a day. In
Now,
college, but we're gonna get
I
a.
like how it changes more too.
Yeah,
I like
I think it's
because
the
in high school it kind of it felt like we were doing the same stuff every single day. So I'm glad that for college it's going to be like you have different types of classes, different times compared to like some days of the week. It adds some more like
variety.
variety. Yeah.
Jinx, you owe me soda. Anyways, um, yeah, it's more variety, and like I'm hoping my professors are pretty good. Like I looked a couple of them up on Rate My Professor, and they had like good ratings, so that's good. And but yeah, depending on how your classes are set up, because me, I'm taking I think 13 credit hours, which is like I think 12 is like the base amount pretty much for most people, unless you're a part time student. So if you're a part time student, you'll take 12 hours or less, and if you're full time, you'll take 12 or more pretty much. And they tried to make me take like 16 credit hours to start, and I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do that first semester, so I'm taking 13. So I think it's like 4 classes, and then I'm taking one credit hour class, which is for honors, which is like the seminar thing I told you about. So that should be pretty interesting. It's mostly discussion based. I don't think the one I'm taking is called like Hot Topics in Neuroscience. That should
Does
be
that relate to your field? Or...
not at all, but it's mostly just about
Yeah.
the seminar. Well, it's because like the honors seminar classes, it's more about like the professor teaching something they're passionate about to students that actually like are willing to learn. So it's not like actually, it's not as much the logistics of actual neuroscience and like learning about biology and stuff. It's more just about like probably ethics and stuff like that of like new things. Like maybe like we'll talk about Neuralink, I think. So yeah, hopefully you get to take some cool classes. I don't know, depends on how much credit you have coming into, I guess, based on what your major is and like your
I know I'll
prerequisite.
have computer science credit because I got fours on both the computer science
Damn.
AP. So I should have computer science credit because I'm taking computer science and game development.
Okay, so
Other than
that'll
that,
help.
though, yeah, other than that, though, I don't know what other credit I'm gonna have. It depends on how well we did on the IB exams, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, and like they take your school takes less credit than mine, so because obviously it's
Yeah.
more prestigious. So because like
Mm-hmm.
they'll take for us they'll take like threes on pretty much everything. Like as long as you pass, they'll
Yeah.
pretty much take it, which is something I liked about it. So I'll take it.
I need fours.
You need fours for everything.
Uh, at least, yeah. Some
Yeah.
things you need like a
Damn.
5. Some things you need like a
5. Oh
5.
nah, that's not happening.
I think AP Physics needs a 5, actually.
Yeah, that was not gonna happen with Mr. V. There's no shot. Literally zero chance. Mr. V. Oh, I voice correct. Um.
What's that time?
So, no, you're right. So yeah, we can move on to the next thing. So you can start, cause yeah,
Summer Game Fest happened, I believe that was 2 days ago, June 8th. That's 2 days ago, right?
yeah,
With our old boy Jeff Keighley. There were some games there, and usually as Summer Game Fest go, it wasn't as interesting. And which game should we talk about first? That actually, because Blue Protocol wasn't at Summer Game Fest, so
superstars.
Sonic Superstars. Now, a lot of people are excited. A lot of not classics. A lot of Sonic fans are excited for this one, but I am excited for a new 2D Sonic game because I like 2D Sonic more than 3D Sonic. I just feel like it's more consistent with quality. But I am a little bit, I wouldn't say mad. I am a little bit frustrated with the fact that it's classic Sonic again because realistically speaking, we've had classic Sonic in every single Sonic game for like the past decade, from Sonic Generations all the way to Sonic Frontiers. Cyberspace levels count, and with them constantly using classic Sonic, it's just they can't really modernize the mechanics of a Sonic game if they strictly rely on classic Sonic's appeal, because mainly classic Sonic fans want everything to be focused on momentum, not too many differing mechanics, and mainly the basics. But the problem is they can't really evolve the 2D Sonic style if they continuously use that formula. And I think that eventually it's going to become like a serious issue. But hey, for now, I am excited that we're getting a new 2D Sonic game. I just really wish that it was the modern 2D Sonic game that was rumored. You don't know about this, Connor, but there's this dude named Zippo who leaked that there was going to be a 2D modern game akin to Sonic Advance or Sonic Rush. And honestly, I just think that would be much more interesting, both with the level design, the environments, the mechanics. But you know,
I feel like because Sonic is such like a massive franchise, like there's like infinite possibilities for how to like, I don't know, make it more modern in certain ways, like you said. And I feel like it's just restricting at that point because, and I know you said like when we were talking about it, like the old heads that are just like wanting it to be a certain way once it's classic are, there's gonna be those type of people the whole time. But I feel like Sonic at some point is gonna have to do something to appeal to a new audience if it's gonna be able to continue to be relevant. Because I feel like if you just keep doing the same stuff over and over again, just improving like the graphics or like there's so many opportunities to like modernize and make it more interesting for, I guess, new players. And I feel like because it's so massive, maybe they're not as concerned about that and they're just worried about the existing players. But at the same time, it might be more attractive to new players if they did something new. You know what I mean?
I think it's mainly because classic Sonic sold the most back in the day, and as a result, they just and every single time they try to do something new, like somebody criticizes it, so they're just too scared to really deviate themselves. Because even with Sonic Frontiers, when they actually did try something new, they still kept the cyberspace levels, which were very just rudimentary. I think that's a word.
That's a word.
And they didn't really. They just kept them in the past, because they use Green Hill, Sky Sanctuary. They've literally reused level design from past video games that they made, and
Yeah, it
that's
seems limiting. I
that's
don't know.
not good.
Yeah, it's just
Anyway, let's not. Yeah, let's talk about the next one though,
okay. So
because we talked about that one a lot.
next game, not or do you want to continue with the next game that was at the actual like event, or do you
We
want
should
to
probably do the. Well,
since
I mean,
since we're on
there
that
was
still?
Remnant too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we talk
there
about
was
Remnant
Remnant
too.
too.
You can start with that one
Uh,
because I don't know as much about it as you do.
Remnant from the Ashes was like it's like a third person shooter that came out, kind of like a Dark Souls type game. It looks pretty cool, Remnant 2, and I feel like it could be a good game for people to play together. So I think we should keep an eye on that one.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like,
Basically,
I feel like at this point
we
with,
don't know enough about it.
I feel like with this point with games, and I feel like this has been the same with me in like a lot of things recently that are related to like entertainment. Like, I would also say like TV shows and anime too. I feel like there's stuff that like it's becoming harder and harder to like catch my attention with games and stuff to like get me and keep me interested. So I would just like to find a game that would keep me interested, and I feel like that has the potential to be one of those type of games. If I can find a game that will do that and that I do not feel as repetitive, then that would be great. Because I feel like there's a lot of games that have value in continuing to play them because it's not like a level type thing, like it's open world and you can continue to progress in certain ways. But I don't know,
Yeah,
I feel like it's one of those games that could keep me entertained, theoretically. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of games graphically get me interested now. It's just the fact that like the gameplay itself, once you get into it, like the graphics can look amazing, but then the gameplay can be not what you thought it would be. um
I heard.
there was a game similar to that I feel recently too. Like there was one that was I think related to like vampires or something, and like it looked pretty fun, but like the more I saw about it, the more I was like, this is not maybe the type of game that I would like to play. Like,
It's called Redfall.
yeah, I think it's Redfall.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard that the game did not release well.
Yeah,
It was an Xbox. I think it was an Xbox exclusive, if I'm not mistaken.
it might have
It's
been.
kind of like it's kind of like Back for Blood, Left for Dead, but with vampires.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like to me, it looked interesting. It really did. It's just, it was kind of, I don't know. It was kind of disappointing in terms of like the actual release of it. I feel like a lot of games have been like that recently, which is what I'm kind of scared about like some of these new games that I get excited for because I'm like, what if it looks amazing but then it just plays like not very well, and so it ends up being just another one of the games, you know. I feel like yeah, there was also another game like that for me. Like there was a because you know how I feel about Sword Art Online and like they have games for that, and the last one that they released I think it was called like Alicization Lycoris or something because it was
yeah.
based off
I think I remember that.
yeah it was based off one of the newer series which is Alicization I think, and like I watched some of it and I thought it was really good. Like I thought the new characters that got introduced were good, so I was really excited for the game. But then it ended up just being like I think very poorly optimized or like really buggy, and it was just really not that good in general. And ever since then, it's just been going on sale because no one wants to play it because it's just bad, you know.
It's definitely an issue with. I wouldn't say an issue with indie games because indie games keep things interesting. They incorporate new incorporate new ideas that AAA games are too scared to try, and I think that's just an issue with AAA gaming as a whole. A lot of a lot of big budget games are starting to bleed together and look very similar compared to gameplay wise. And yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
but I would yeah. I mean, some like Nintendo. Nintendo is still doing their best to differentiate the market, but a lot of PlayStation games too. I think PlayStation has been. I think PlayStation has some issues because like they have their Uncharted, they have their Last of Us, they have their Last of Us, and but like they got rid of Japan studio, which really had a lot of the more interesting ideas that they had as a company. It appealed much more to the Japanese environment than Western, but it just had like you don't know what these are probably, but they have stuff like Gravity Rush, Shadow of the Colossus. They had these games that were smaller, yes, but they took a more interesting take on them. They had more interesting ideas, and instead of trying to appeal to everyone or try to appeal to the biggest market possible, they focus on this one vision, this one idea, and I really think that we're starting to lose that in a lot companies so far, especially with Xbox. I don't think Xbox has really released an interesting game
In a while,
in a very long time
yeah, I think that's true.
because
I feel like yeah, I feel like it's. I agree with you because I don't know. I feel like a lot of the AAA games are just like you said. They're just too scared to do certain stuff, and like we need some more innovative stuff to happen because if you're worried about the profits and just continuing to do the same thing, like I feel like with gaming, you can have there can be this thing of you have a certain formula for a game that works, and so that game performs very well. But then when you continue to do that and it becomes repetitive, that's when it becomes an issue. So you can't really use the same formula for the games always because that just becomes more of an issue. Like I can give an example of that. Like we can use NBA 2K as an example. There's been times where I believe it was either 2K, I think it was 2K19 and 2K20, pretty much the same exact game. They didn't really change anything. And the way 2K is, there's always going to be people that play it, but there's so much outrage because they did not really do anything differently. And it seemed like they're so concerned about the profits that they just did not really have any like creative direction, and they pretty much made a lot of things toward, you know, just making money and not as much caring about the variety for the player base. Like I think the only thing they added in was like changing how the stuff looked a little bit just for like events like holidays, and that's really it. So it just seems like people are minimizing the risk they take and just maximizing things for profit instead of actually the enjoyability of the game. Yeah.
yeah, things like Madden
Yeah,
and
especially sports games. Sports games are the worst at it because it's like the same thing, just new. Like maybe a player has gone to a different team, so they, you know,
it's a roster update
exactly.
basically.
That's really all it is.
And I think I think what would help for sports games to just release one game for the generation for the console generation, than to constantly release one every year. I feel like
Exactly.
that just release one game, then make updates to it. That'll just make it easier.
That's what I'm saying. Just make like a monthly update for rosters
Because then you
or
can
Once the season's
Yeah.
over, you can have off-season events or things like that, so you can have it corresponding to the actual season. Now, I will
And
say,
then
go ahead.
once they have that off time, they could they could release. They should bring back. Well, EA Big is no longer a thing, so they can't do that. But they should bring back games like NFL Street and NBA Street,
Oh yeah,
where these arcadey type sports games that because I actually enjoy those when I play it with my brother. So I would prefer them. I would prefer if instead constantly releasing a new like what's the word, standard Madden, that
yeah,
they
like a new
release
one every
one
year.
Madden for the
Yeah,
generation, then release like an NFL Street, NBA Street. Then they can still have the consistent flow of revenue, but they get to try out new ideas and maybe even incorporate them into the actual Maddens and NBA 2Ks if they want.
yeah, I
So
completely
that's
agree.
what I think they should do.
I think
Because then
I will
that
say
works.
another thing is good. Is that like the world of college sports is changing, and obviously I'm studying that in college to an extent, so I have some knowledge about that. But like, now that like college athletes can get paid for their like name, image, and likeness, they can be implemented into games. So like NCAA football, which was a game people liked, pretty much you can have like college sports games now instead of just pro sports games. Because the licensing is easier to acquire because athletes can just like say okay, um, and they can choose that for themselves. So and they're allowed to profit off that now. So it makes it a lot easier to make like college sports games, and it makes it a lot more opportunities for college athletes to have like endorsement deals and maybe like do stuff on the stage of gaming, which I think is a cool opportunity. But we'll just see how that pans out. But yeah, I think a new NCAA football is going to come out at some point, and that should be good. Okay. So also Blue Protocol, we're gonna talk about. We don't have too much time to talk about it, but we can go over it real quick. I've been keeping up with Blue Protocol for kind of a long time now. Um, and there's this YouTube channel called MMO Byte, and that's where I first heard about it. And so I've been following it as long as he's been posting about it, and it's been a long time. So like initially, they thought maybe there would be a global version done in 2023. It got pushed back, but when I see the gameplay, to me it looks really good because there's a lot of games that I wish would have been that way. Like I wanted an anime MMO RPG with that same graphical style and gameplay type of thing. And it kind of reminds me of like Genshin Impact, and I don't know if you know this one, Chris, but Tower of Fantasy. It was pretty hyped up, and then it ended up being kind of like a Genshin clone, pretty much doing the same thing. So Blue Protocol's not gotcha from what I know, and it's an MMO. So I think there's a lot of positive qualities it has and a lot of potential.
Look at the gameplay. It reminds me of Xeno. Do you know Xenoblade Chronicles?
I haven't, but I will look it up later. I think I've heard of it. I just have not played it before.
It looks like Xenoblade Chronicles a lot, and I think that's it. Xenoblade Chronicles is an action RPG basically, so it's similar in which you have these skills that you can use in specific circumstances where you can press them, and you can still like move around your character and stuff like that. And you have basic attacks, but you also have those special skills that you can use that have cooldowns and stuff.
Yeah.
I like that battle system a lot, so yeah, it looks interesting. I am worried about the MMORPG part because I don't really enjoy the format of MMORPGs too much. It is free to play though, right?
I believe it should be.
And
Yeah.
it's not gotcha
I
theoretically.
I don't think it's a gotcha because based on how it looks, like you have character creation and then you
So
like
if
pick
it
a
isn't
class.
gotcha,
So yeah, I think it's just a play style thing. I wonder how it's gonna function as an MMORPG though. Um,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah. So, but I think there's the possibility for
Because
them to do it well, but they could also. I'm just hoping they don't make it like a pay to win thing because that's what I didn't like about PSO2 because I'm pretty sure PSO2 is pretty pay to win and yeah,
Fancy Star, I played it once. It was fine.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems kind of mid. I don't know, but yeah. So I'm excited for it. Hopefully, I will still want to play by the time it comes out because it's gonna be kind of a long time. But we'll
it,
see. I think
it comes
there's
out in 2024, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
The
I'll look into it.
I think the
I
Japanese
I
release is
wanted to
before then,
try.
but
Yeah, I wanted to try an MMORPG before, so
yeah,
this may be a one that I'm actually gonna try.
that's what I'm saying. I've wanted to play one, but I feel like a lot of the ones that have been released already, I will just be so much behind other players that I won't really feel like I can be a serious like I don't know, like I can't really be on the same skill level or like you know be as good
Yeah, that's a
because it's
big.
been out so
I
so long. So because like I thought about playing RuneScape, but I'm like why would I just start now when it's been out forever? Same with Black Desert. Like I was thinking about playing Black Desert, and then I just chose not to. So
Yeah, that's a big issue with MMOs where they're inherently extremely challenging to new players who start off like years after.
exactly, yeah, it makes it hard for it to be accessible for new players.
That's
Um,
why I was looking for accessible.
yeah. Okay, so last topic we have like 2 minutes, but I don't think it should take that long. And yeah,
What is it?
the freaking Project
Oh, it's
Q.
Project Q. That's what I'm saying. That's why I forgot about it because it's dumb. Anyway, so Project Q. PlayStation Showcase happened not too long ago. So Project Q is this. It looks like they just took a PlayStation 5 DualSense controller and then they just
Smacked that on the side.
stuck a screen in between them. It looks like some fan art that someone made.
you know,
So
like the phone mobile controllers that you could like put on the side of your phone.
yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. And I'm just like, why
Funny
would you want to
thing
do that?
it funny thing is about those mobile controllers. PlayStation actually released a mobile controller that you can connect to your phone that you can use to play remote play for PlayStation games. That's exactly the same thing the Project Q does.
That's what I'm
So you
saying.
can have a Project Q for like a third of the price, basically. So I don't see why they didn't make it an actual handheld device. I can see why. Because they were afraid because Nintendo has been leading the handheld market for a while now. Ever since the Game Boy, really. They're the ones who actually started it back in 19 something something. And as a result, once Nintendo merged the handheld and console markets, it makes it more difficult for a handheld console to be made because if PlayStation did that, they would have to split up their dev team for handhelds and cons and home console games, and then that would decrease the amount of production power that they have into one game. It would also make games take longer to develop.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would be all bad all around. But the problem with doing a streaming device is that it just doesn't make any sense because it's not useful for anyone because we have the Nintendo Switch already, and that's already the better version of what this is supposed to be. So if it's around $300, why would anyone buy this over Nintendo Switch? Basically,
Yeah, the thing I'm thinking, and if it's streaming, right? Like there's a lot of prerequisites to streaming a thing or like streaming a game to have make it like a good quality. Like there's already gonna be input lag obviously, but like you're not really paying for like the specs of a system. You're just paying for a device that can like stream things rather than play them on the device itself. So I feel like it does not make as much sense when you have devices like you said, like the Switch that can just have games already on there. And I guess
it's not useful.
streaming has an implied amount of stuff that's like online games, right? Like you'll need a Wi-Fi connection to even make it run well for most things, if at
And
all.
you can't take it far. And you can't take it far away because you need to be. I think you need to be on a Wi-Fi network. So either you have to be in the same home as a PlayStation 5. You need a PlayStation 5 to play it in the first place, and that's already $500.
Yeah, who's buying
And
that?
assuming that Project Q is like it would have to be like $200 in order for it to be profitable.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense as a product to me. Like I don't understand why they're trying to get into that market at this point when they're already being dominated by competitors in that market, so I don't see why they are trying to like get into that. But at the same time, like I understand diversifying a bit, but I just don't think it makes sense because I think they're gonna get outsold anyway. Um, and
I
also,
think
can we
yeah,
talk about
continue.
the dang earbuds? Like,
The earbuds. You really want to talk? Okay, yeah, we can talk about the earbuds.
yeah, it's just why do they look like
I
freaking
mean,
alien, bro?
what do they look like? What are they called? The PlayStation Buds or some shit?
Something like that. Yeah, they were in the same thing
That
I
sounds
saw
about right.
with Project Q, and like they just look really weird. Like they don't even look like a cool design. Like they just look weird to me. Like
PlayStation Buds.
I think the piece is like
Uh,
kind of like
they're
um
white, right? They're
yeah,
white and blue.
yeah.
Um, let me see. Let me see. Let's see.
It just seems
You could
weird to
keep on
me.
talking about them. while I look at them. Because I know what you're talking about. I just haven't seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really understand the point of that. Like, I don't understand who exactly that's appealing to so much, unless it's like a PS5 enthusiast, and they're just like, oh yeah, so
Um,
we have this.
I could see some merit to the PlayStation earbuds because if there's like a person that they want headphones on the go, but they also want headphones to play. These can connect to your phone, correct?
I think.
It'd be pretty stupid if they can't.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I don't, and also I'm not,
It'd be
I'm not sure if it comes with the Project Q or if it's like a separate purchase based
It's
on what I
gotta be
saw.
separate purchase.
But
It's PlayStation. It's gotta be a
that's true.
separate
Yeah,
purchase.
it just, I'm just thinking like probably the price point they're gonna put it around. You could probably get better earbuds with the same like functionality or better with the given price point. So it just does not seem like it makes
That's,
that much sense to me.
yeah, but you can't connect them to your PlayStation devices. And I think
That may be true.
that's what they're trying to market to. They're trying to market to the person who wants headphones on the go, but also wants headphones for their. They need headphones for gaming because they want to elevate their experience and they don't want to just use a speaker. But it's earbuds. And honestly, I think it would have make a lot more sense if they just did like regular headphones.
Yeah, I think so too, right?
Like,
Like I feel like those would be easier to make a quality design that
and
would
they're
be more with the
Sony, they
price
could
point.
do that. They
Exactly.
could just take they could just take one of their home headphones that they already did, and then just make it connect to PlayStation.
Exactly. No, like I
It's
have
not that hard.
the earbuds I have right now are Sony's and they're amazing. They're probably the best earbuds I've had. Like I've had AirPods before. They're better than AirPods. And I think I got them for less than the cost of AirPods. So,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't
But the
see the
thing is,
I don't see the point in
yeah,
doing it like that and making it a whole weird design with a weird looking case that like slides off like that. Like you already have so much
uh,
potential for quality audio.
earbuds are could be more uncomfortable when you're spending like long hours like playing video games. So
That is true.
it would have made more sense to have headphones instead. Because I could see a lot of merit if it was actually Sony PlayStation headphones, as long as they didn't look like dumb as shit.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like yeah. I think we're on the same page about this. Also, we're like 5 minutes over, so I think we should wrap it up.
That's it.
Any concluding thoughts?
Any concluding thoughts? I don't have anything right now. Do you have any concluding thoughts?
Sure. Okay, so in conclusion, I'm excited for some of these games, and Project Q is stupid. I'll never buy it. I also am not gonna get a PS5 probably. I like
Yeah, you
PCs,
might have.
so
I have a PS5 and I can't really see a reason because I have a Switch, so there's not really a reason for me to buy a Project Q.
yeah, there's no reason. It's whack. All right. With that being said, we will see y'all next time. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.